Chapter 47. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines, before that Pharaoh smote Gaza. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. At the noise of the stamping of the hoofs of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands. Because of the day that cometh to spoil all the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Zidon every helper that remaineth. For the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant of the country of Caphtor. Baldness is come upon Gaza. Ashkelon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself? O thou sword of the Lord, how long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard, rest and be still. How can it be quiet, seeing the Lord hath given it a charge against Ashkelon and against the seashore? There hath he appointed it. Here the Lord is telling Jeremiah that he is going to destroy the Philistines. Now the Philistines lived on the coast, on the very far east coast of the Mediterranean Sea. They lived between the land where Judah and Benjamin were headed towards the Mediterranean and the actual coast itself. They had a spot that was maybe 50-60 miles north to south, maybe a little more, and 10-15 miles inland. The inland varied depending on how aggressive they were. They were always trying to go up the Shephelah, which were the valleys that controlled access towards Jerusalem. The more land they had, the more power they had, and they would attack, especially in the earlier years, before Judah really had any kind of army at all. They would attack at the time the crops would be harvested in order to take the crops. And here he's talking about, the Lord is talking about the hooves and chariots and all the rest of it, and that basically is war. Philistines were going to be destroyed in war. It's interesting that this area is called Gaza, and that it is still 2,000 years and more later an area where there is war and war and war and war and war.